And who's this?
This is Velma. What I'm Tracy.
Thank you so much.
Sweetheart.
I don't know how he put up with me this morning. He did. He got me here safely, so.
Well, it's a pretty day.
Yeah, and it's warmer. I was afraid it was going to be a little chilly, but it's
Much
warm
better
now.
than yesterday.
This is Tracy, Dr. Harden's wife. He'll be here. Cyndee worked for Dr. Harden. 10 years. 10 years.
Which we had no idea.
Thought it was longer than that, you know, I thought, oh.
Well, you know, she was in England.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Tracy Harden, and this is my husband, Chris Harden. And Cyndee worked for us for 10 years. She was definitely part of our family. And we just are so thankful that you guys could come out today. Just feel like this was a fitting way to celebrate her life and just kind of say goodbye and just kind of get to know each other and learn a little bit more about Cyndee. So, Chris, if you want to start, and then we've got several people that.
I don't want to take too long. Stop me if I go too long. I'll sit down.
It's supposed to be an informal time. So, I first, yeah, I don't know if y'all, are you comfortable over there, or can you hear me? Time flies, because I didn't realize it had been 10 years that we've known Cyndee. It didn't seem like that long. First met her about September, it was September 1st, 2000. I had to look it up on the computer. And she brought in Merlin for an x-ray. And I don't remember what we were x-raying, but she struck me as being a very sweet personality and very knowledgeable. And I was very impressed, and I was looking for somebody to be the medical manager at that time. And I said, you know, we sure could use somebody like you around here. I was thinking, surely she has a job, that kind of thing. But she had recently been laid off, apparently, from her last employer. And so she was available. So we talked, and sure enough, she came on board and very quickly became one of my most trusted associates. Gave her authority over a lot of different projects. I could talk all day about the different things that she helped us with, and have always just been very impressed with her. The one trait that stands out to me, I think more than anything, is that she never got angry. I never saw her get angry. She has skills that I'll never have. But she, I was just trying to think, have I ever seen her get red-faced and flustered and you know, raise her voice at somebody? Never once in that whole 10 years that I knew her.
And she helped us with collections.
Yeah. She definitely, that became a niche, because I have seen her calm down drunken, you know, big intimidating guys that were angry about a bill, or hysterical people that hyperventilating in the lobby. She had this special gift of just meeting them on their level and calming them down and just being so centered. And you know, the last hysterical client that we had, she was especially helpful with in ways that none of the other staff. And that client said, "I don't want to deal with anybody but you." You know, she was just that kind of person. And I think, you know, hopefully we can all emulate that in our own lives and remember those good qualities and try to let that be an inspiration for us when we're dealing with people. She was dying of cancer the whole time, you know, who knows how long. Never complained. And I don't know if she knew it, but she never complained. And that just struck me as very, I don't know what the word is, an indictment of myself, because I complain about a lot of little stuff that just doesn't matter. Traffic, you know, this or that and the other, somebody that's bounced a check. And here she was dying of cancer. Never said a word. Really puts things in perspective. She was a precious soul. And a lot of good memories. I could go on all day. She helped us get a a Valentine's Day reservation when I procrastinated and didn't get one at Manja Manja. She knew the turn-offs.
Forgot about that, yeah.
And I was desperate. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I could cook. But she got me a reservation in, and just little things like that. For the rest of my life, I'll be remembering little pleasant memories like that. And just her demeanor, and every time when I needed something done, she was on it. Computers, something goes down, 3 in the morning, she would get them fixed for us, and stuff like that. And there have been several times in this last week or more that something's come across my desk or something's come up, and I've said, that's a Cyndee problem. We'll get that to Cyndee. It's like, I miss you, where are you? And, death stinks. Death stinks. It really does. But it's coming for all of us. And we have a choice. We can be afraid of it and fear it, or we can be prepared for it. And I don't believe in bully pulpits, so I'm not going to sit here and give a sermon. But I do believe God has provided a way for us to not have to fear death. And I think Cyndee, that would be one thing she'd want us to know right now. Don't be afraid. Trust God with your eternity. This isn't everything. This isn't the end of it, what we see here. There's more. And I think she'd also want us to say, or want us to live our lives so that when it is our time, we get a turnout like this for our own memorial service. People driving 2 hours, from Charleston to Charlotte, to be a part of it. She lived her life that way. Look at us. We're here to celebrate it. We cared about her. It's because of how she lived. We need to live the same way. I think she's a great inspiration for all of us. We'll miss her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Her sister Kate, we got to know the family. Well, Chris actually knew her mom. I don't remember ever meeting her, but when they were here for the week, and I've just I feel like I've gotten closer to them. It's sad through this, but Kate, they couldn't come back for this, but Kate, her sister, wrote something that she wanted me to read to you guys, so we could kind of get to know Cyndee before she came here to Columbia. For those of you that didn't know, Cyndee played the harp. You probably all know that if you know Cyndee. Actually, I have to say this too. She brought the harp up to the emergency clinic a few times, and Chris and I have a 7-year-old Tyler, and she was teaching Tyler how to play the harp. She'd bring her keyboard out and let Tyler play it. So just special memories like that just keep popping in my head. But Kate said before she played the harp, she played the piccolo and marched in the Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C. with her high school band. She had inherited my Cyndee Walklet's ability to play by ear. Before she rescued dogs and cats, she rescued baby bunnies. Her first was named Abraham Aronowitz. Before she created little female creatures, she created clay pigs and cats. She was a talented artist whose animal drawings are amazing. My little sister was always independent. She wasn't even born when the doctor said she would be, and even hung out inside Mom for quite a while after she was induced. She was fearless. She skied on moguls, rode roller coasters, and was up for anything. Cyndee could do anything. I have a tendency not to try things that I don't know if I'll be good at it. Cyndee would just go for it. She barreled racehorses, she built furniture, she cleared her land, she designed websites, she trained dogs, etc., etc. If she didn't know how, she'd find a way to learn. When I am confronted with something new, I often say, what would Cyndee do? She loved to fish, especially with our dad, brother, and nephew. We sang Stop in the Name of Love in the middle of the mall when it came on. We sang Sister Sisters from White Christmas and called each other Sister Sister when we rode. She was compassionate to the elderly, but you already know that, as well as animals and children. One of my favorite memories is when my mom, grandmother, and I visited Cyndee back in 1990. At that point, Cyndee had a huge bed, and all 4 of us piled in and ate Dove bars while watching TV. She was mischievous. She was the kid who poked holes in the bottom of the chocolates to make sure she'd like what she chose, and then carefully put them back in those little brown pieces of paper. She loved funny stories and YouTube. I don't know how many of you guys would get the funniest things that she would send on the computer. I was always laughing. Hers was about the only 4 words I would actually read because I knew they were going to be good. Her jobs were varied, everything from working for a magistrate to being on a senator's staff to hot walking horses, to managing a barn, to various hospital positions, to marketing, and then finally to the clinic, where she could combine so many of the things she loved to do. I miss her terribly. I am so glad we were able to take my dad shopping at the mall at Christmas and bake cookies together with my daughter and granddaughter her last night with us in Florida. I am beginning to move past the pain and focus on the good memories. What have I learned? Make sure you hug those important to you and tell them you love them every time you part or talk. We never know what the next day will bring.
Thanks. I've got something I'd like to read, hopefully we can get through it, if somebody could